Camila had always believed that the world was too big to stay in one place. At 28, she had spent most of her adult life chasing sunsets across continents, collecting stories instead of things. Her heart belonged to no one and everywhere at the same time. Now, it was Spain's turn, specifically the warm, poetic city of Seville. She arrived with no expectations, only her worn-out backpack, a leather-bound journal, and a restless heart. The golden streets, the scent of orange blossoms, and the music that floated through every alley enchanted her instantly. One afternoon, while sketching in a quiet plaza, Camila met Mateo, a painter with paint-stained fingers and kind, thoughtful eyes. He asked about her drawing. She asked about his art. They talked about everything and nothing for hours. From that moment, the city no longer felt foreign. They began to spend nearly every day together. He showed her the real Seville, secret gardens behind old churches, little bookshops tucked into narrow streets, the rooftop where he watched the stars as a child. She shared her travel stories. He shared his dreams of one day opening a small gallery. Camila found herself laughing more than usual, sleeping less, thinking more. She wasn't supposed to fall in love. That wasn't part of her plan. She was just passing through, like always. But Mateo was different. With him, she felt still, for the first time in years. But the road was calling her again. Portugal was next, then Greece, then maybe India. Her ticket was already booked, her journey already mapped out. The night before her departure, they sat quietly on the steps of an old fountain. "I don't want to leave," Camila said, tears threatening to spill. "Then stay," Mateo replied gently. "I don't know how," she whispered. The next morning, she boarded the train, heart heavy, soul torn. Mateo stood on the platform. No drama, no promises, just one last look that said everything they couldn't find the words for. The weeks that followed were a blur. Lisbon was beautiful, but it wasn't Seville. Her sketches became darker, her journal pages heavier. Every city felt like it was missing something, someone. Camila tried to convince herself it was just a passing feeling, that she'd been romanticizing, but she knew, deep down, that she'd left a part of herself on that train platform. One rainy night in Porto, sitting alone in a cafe, Camila opened her journal and reread the last words. She wrote in Spain. "Spain gave me a piece of my soul I didn't know was missing, and a love I'll carry with me." Tears fell onto the page, and just like that, she bought a one-way ticket back to Seville. 2 weeks later, Mateo hadn't painted in days. His studio was quiet, untouched. He spent most days walking the same routes they used to take, hoping, foolishly, to see her again. On a warm afternoon, he returned to the plaza where they first met. The same cafe, the same table. He ordered coffee and stared at the empty sea across from him. And then he looked up. There she was, hair damp from the summer rain, eyes wide and unsure, but smiling. They didn't speak at first. Words would have ruined it. Instead, she sat across from him, reached out, and held his hand. "I came back," she finally said, her voice shaking. "I knew you would," he whispered. 1 year later, Camila still travels, but now she always returns to Seville. Mateo's gallery is open, and one wall is entirely dedicated to paintings inspired by her. She writes, she sketches, and sometimes she simply sits on the rooftop, watching the sun go down beside the man who taught her that not all journeys are meant to end. Some are meant to begin again.